All right. Welcome to episode 55 of the Making Geeks podcast. We are the podcast for makers, dads, and geeks. Today we have Mr. Josh Price with us.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Mark O'Keefe.
What's going on?
Mr. Wes Swain.
Hi.
And I am Sean Jolliker. And as I'm looking at my screen right here, it's weird because I see Mark, I see Josh, and I see Wes's shoulder.
Really?
I see me.
Which means that Wes and Josh are actually in the same location right now.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's a mystery.
I'm not touching you.
How are you guys doing this week?
Pretty awesome.
I'm doing great.
Doing better now.
Aw.
The migraine went away.
Oh.
I thought just because we were all
Yeah,
here.
that's what I thought.
Oh.
Well, it's that too.
That's why the migraine went away.
It's early day.
Yeah, we are recording a little bit earlier this week.
Yeah, that was our request.
But some things still happen even in those, few short days. Josh, you're on the road now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Already made a couple stops. Yeah.
On the road again. Da 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 on the road. Sorry.
What day is now?
I think a lot of people are looking forward to kind of living vicariously through you and looking at all the adventure or watching all the adventures that you kind of go on as you travel wherever you're going.
I hope so.
Josh is officially our Han Solo.
Yeah. I got.
I'm not sure if I got that reference.
I gotta make you an Eagle 5 license plate. It's not exactly Winnebago, but it's damn close.
No. Somebody asked me if I could 3D print or 3D model and design that Winnebago from Spaceballs.
I think it's already done.
I'm sure.
I think it's on Thingiverse. I thought it was on Thingiverse.
Did some maker-related stuff today.
We
Yeah.
did. So, what did we do the other day? I don't remember. But today we went to this super awesome kids museum in Raleigh called Marbles, and met up with Jeff Highsmith, who did some work for Make on YouTube, who made one of our early episodes. We talked about it. He made this command module system and a control center, like a NASA control center for his kids. It's got buttons and lights and amazing stuff. And he makes and maintains a lot of the exhibits at this museum. And so we went and hung out with him today. Let my crazy children run amok in this place that was an amazing kids museum. Interactive play place. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
It was just fun.
Yep.
We had a great time when we got to go behind the scenes into their workshop. And I got to...
Took the freight elevator down. That was cool.
The freight elevator is really fun. I don't know why I got
Freight
so excited.
elevators are always awesome.
I don't know why. It was neat.
Yeah. It was like a bat cave.
And no one cared that we were walking around back there.
Nope.
There were a lot of people. And then at one point we just, Jeff had to go back to work, so we left him. We just kind of meandered around for a little bit. No one asked any questions.
Nope.
It was great. What else we do? Went to dinner.
Yep. Barbecue.
Delicious. Went to a barcade. That was really fun. And then
It does sound like fun.
It was. And we burned through...
Which barcade?
It's called Boxcar. It's adjacent
okay.
to my favorite barbecue restaurant. They have pinball machines, old school arcade,
One of those,
Dig
okay.
Dug, original Mario Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
all the Donkey Kongs, Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat, Jurassic Park.
I was thinking Dave and Buster's.
No, there's no ticket redemption machines in this thing, so it's amazing.
Yeah, Dave and Buster's is quite Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Think of if Dave and Buster's were the grown up Chuck E. Cheese, this was going over to your rich friend's house who had all of the super awesome Nintendo systems, and then they raided their dad's beer fridge. That was this place.
Yeah. They had the Simpsons arcade game, X-Men, all the 4-player ones you remember.
Oh,
two different
freaking
Turtles
X-Men
ones. I mean,
amazing.
Yeah, it was a good time. Then we just
I
got
still
back
love
from watching Spider-Man.
yeah.
What's the snazzy shirt? You were the snazziest dressed person in the whole place.
I think so.
You were.
Yeah.
I just found out all my friends went and saw that, so I was expecting to go see it with them, so I got to hopefully try and find a babysitter because Tracy wants to see it too, and we can go see it and maybe do a spoiler cast.
Yes, please.
Soon.
I'll wear my shirt.
I should be
again,
seeing it Thursday.
just for you guys. So for those of you that are listening at home, I have a Spider-Man. It's almost like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's like super bright Spider-Man graphics all over it. It's pretty fun. I break it out for special occasions.
It's the silk shirt, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's even got Spider-Man embroidered in the back, the actual logo from the original movies.
Very classy.
It's a quality nerd shirt.
Yes.
Available to you for the low price of $79.99.95. A Making Geeks exclusive.
Making Gleeks.
Making Gleeks. That's a different podcast.
That's disgusting.
How has that word caught on?
Gleek?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I know, right? I think I'm sure
It's
we're
not
all
like
on the same
euphemism
page.
for anything, so don't have to worry about that.
What even is it?
You don't know?
Oh, like how does it happen?
It's a weird kind of spit.
How does that happen? How does your body just projectile some weird piece of spit from your mouth?
It's like when somebody can flex their tongue to the point where they can cause enough pressure to spit between the bottom of your tongue and your bottom teeth.
I can do it.
On demand?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I've never tried to do it, and it wasn't ever one of those things that I
was basically an only child, so I have a lot of useless talents.
Perfected it. It has only ever happened in like very awkward social situations for me.
Like when you're talking, you're like, whoa, sorry.
Yeah, you're like, well, hello, person. I'm trying to improve. And you just spit randomly on them.
I'm more curious why we have an official term for it.
Exactly, and how has it been?
And
we
all know it.
Yeah.
It was like an 80s 90s thing.
Yeah, as a kid. The gross boy thing that you could do to somebody else.
But it wasn't in like a movie or anything. It would make it such a popular term.
Nope.
No, it just I don't know where it came from. It just kind of always was.
And we're on different sides of the country, too.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
That's the telephone game that actually worked out like it's supposed to.
We just took a bunch of people back in our audience to, oh yeah, I know what that is.
I wonder how many people awkwardly sat listening and are like, I think I know what they're talking about. And they're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
My grandmother said I shouldn't do that. My eyes get crossed.
You're going to have a Twitter apocalypse. I remember what that was.
I think Josh and Wes are funnier when they're in the same room.
Yeah.
I think all of us, we all have to make future plans to all live in the same area. We have to make the Making Geeks compound.
That'd be pretty
That's a
awesome.
tall order.
Do I need to go to like the epicenter of everyone and just hang out for a little bit?
It's at Berkey's shop, I think.
You all just come to me. I'll ring the bell and put up the signal.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I want out of the four of us, the first next person that eats a burrito, I want a picture of a burrito on a bandsaw.
I don't have one of those. How about a 3D printer?
You could.
No, you gotta have.
It keeps it warm. Yeah, it's true.
No, table saw burrito.
All right, I got one of those.
No, it's got a rhyme. So you got table saw tacos and bandsaw burritos, and
how about a
Chip
CNC chalupa? No.
CNC chalupa or chip CNC
chimichanga.
CNC
churro.
chimichanga. It's got to be. They got to have the same numbers, the same letter.
Okay, think about it.
Getting a burrito soon and putting it on my bandsaw. What has the maker group done to us that is a sentence that was just said?
Weird people. Weird
we are weird people, and I'd have it no other way.
Well, people out there in the world, Wes has lots of stuff on his desk, and you can't expect me not to play with half of it. There's buttons and switches and that click sound.
I didn't even hear that until Wes said something.
That sounded really awesome in my headphones. I kind of want to do that. All right, give me a second, everybody. That sounded really cool.
Get out of your system.
Yeah, it won't be out of my system. Don't worry. This is when we sat in Boston in front of a live audience, and I sat there and played with a speak and spell for about 15 minutes before I realized that it was my turn to talk.
It's back there.
All right, I'll stop.
What'd you tell him?
Where do you get such wonderful toys? All right, so what's everybody else been doing?
I've been manning the shop this week. What?
Sorry,
You were so excited. I heard like 3 words of that.
I have a workable shop.
There you go.
I have lights. I have electricity. I vacuumed up everything. It's clean, and I can't wait to get down there. I'm so excited.
Well, that's a show, everybody.
Yep.
Mark had a joygasm, and he's got to go now.
Thanks, man. I haven't been able to do anything, and I'm finally like, the ecosystem is so delicate, you know. The slightest thing happens, and it all goes to hell. And I finally crawled back from the setback, and it's workable, and I'll have my 3D printers plugged in soon, and the one will be printing badly. The other one, I just need to clean the mirrors, and it should be printing great. And then I'll have a CNC machine soon, probably not till after Josh has come and gone, but it'll still be there. And no, I gotta make an enclosure and move it over.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be sitting right next to my furnace, so I can't imagine sawdust and furnace as a great idea.
That's been brought up by.
Like a lathe in a.
Yeah. How about a lathe and a furnace? Is that okay?
Yeah, same effect, I believe.
Furnace / at HVAC.
Catherine said it was a great idea.
I heard her say it was a great idea. There might have been another word in between there, but I heard it was a great idea.
I heard it was her idea.
That's true. It's Bob Claggett's lathe that I ferried up from Georgia to here.
And I have two project ideas that may turn into YouTube things.
Huzzah!
Yeah, pop your video, Cherry.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Calm down.
Hubba. Big giggity. But yeah, I'm excited. Things are starting to get to a point where they will have a slow but constant momentum. So that's really nice and exciting, and yay.
We're happy for you, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go, girl.
All right, I'm done. I'll shut up now.
I've been working the shop most of the week, organizing, cleaning, and batching out a couple of things I might be selling on my my store, my website store.
Buy Sean's stuff.
Yeah, I'll make a pitch for it once I get a couple more of them done. I'm gonna the little headphone stand that I've been kind of teasing online and stuff. I'll make like 3 or 4 of these and see if I can sell a couple of them. And a couple other styles I might be doing too. It's basic, but it works pretty well. I'll actually be using that one. But this is also the one that I had the router tear out on.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I'm pissed too. I was using
bad internet sounds like.
Yeah.
That's like terrible. How do you guys put up with that?
I probably didn't have the best setup. I had my router in a vise, and I was trying to flush trim it while it was clamped in a vise, and somehow it grabbed here and split all the wood down the grain, like right to there. So I had to cut it. Yeah, well, no, it's ash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's ash.
Did it leave like a big ash hole?
Thank you very much.
You patched it though, so it's all good.
You put a plug in the ash hole.
Even worse, it's a crappy plug in the ash hole. Now we're done.
But plug.
Do you explain all the punchlines to jokes?
We should do shows like this more often. We're on fire tonight.
At 20 minutes in, we haven't even hit the topic yet.
I remember what we're talking about. Ash holes now. Did you put the bolts in it? Right next to, you can put your bolt hole right next to your ash hole. And you can put a nut in the bolt hole next to the ash hole.
I think we're getting into fetish territory now.
Man,
we're reaching.
Keep the hardware out of the ash hole.
Butt joint. That's all I got.
Let's talk about kids.
Yeah, on that topic.
Well, you're talking about assholes.
I thought that's how you
That
avoid.
was a good segue. That's how you avoid. Oh man. We should take topics from our angry wives more often.
Are we gonna have to put an NC-17 rating on this episode?
It'll be NSFW. At least for this 5-minute stretch.
Nothing inappropriate. These are all technical
That's
terms.
true. They all been like Shrek
There's
level.
nothing wrong with the word ash. There's nothing wrong with
These
the
are
word
all
hole.
biological terms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Prudes.
Someone's gonna listen to that in their car and almost crash.
Man, if someone got
If you're in your car right now, almost crashing, text us, or leave us a message at Making Geeks on Twitter.
Snapchat that crap.
I think this is another one of
Or Facebook Live us.
Sean's daughter scaring the crap out of people moments.
If we get sued for somebody crashing after listening to this, I'm going to have that stenographer read back every single line that is read. I've always wanted
Right
to
in
do
court.
that. Yeah, just so she can read it back to us. And go, see? It was funny. And then I'll yell, case dismissed, and we'll all just storm out really fast.
And then we'll cheer. Yeah.
Even
Freeze
funnier,
in
it'll
there.
be like our second meetup.
Yeah.
It'll be a forced meetup.
Oh man.
Subpoena.
What are we
So I
talking
guess-
about?
I don't know.
This week, it was suggested that we talk about our kids. And we thought it might be interesting to talk about, given the way that, society, technology, and all the different aspects of life changes, what challenges do we anticipate our kids encountering as they get older?
I like it.
There's a meme about this. So thank anyone over 30. Thank God we did all our stupid stuff before social media. I think that's
true.
probably the main thing I'm going to have to teach my daughter is don't do anything stupid on camera, because at this point it will live forever on the internet.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that. I was at a friend's house last night with a couple of college buddies, guys I've known for almost 20 years at this point. And we were there along with our wives and our kids. And we were talking and telling all these old stories. And our wives basically, you have any pictures of this? And the answer is no. Well, we actually did. We got rid of a lot of those pictures anyways after we got married.
There you go.
But we can actually get rid of those pictures. There wasn't social media at that time. So there's none of this long record of what you did. And I'm kind of grateful for it in a small way, because the stuff that you do during those years is something that probably should not be of permanent record, other than maybe stories with friends or just the deep corners of your memory.
They're sealed in the juvenile case file, right?
Yes.
In some cases.
I have a DVD from pictures of a Vegas party that I went to at the Hard Rock for Halloween that is locked away.
There's
Yeah.
some kid with a failing
You
English
should
grade
share
who
that
wants
with
to
the
get his
four of
hands on that
us.
Those pictures will not see the light of day until my son is like 21.
I would like to see them now. I will say a word. I promise.
Well, I mean, the same thing existed when we were growing up. It's just they were VHS tapes. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah,
mean,
but
we were-
the difference is you didn't have
it's not the
every
same.
single one of your friends with a VHS recorder walking around. Nowadays every single person on the planet looks like this.
true. But I don't know. I think with the ebb and flow of anything, I think by the time all our kids are old enough to be in that kind of situation, I think that something is probably going to happen that's going to reverse this trend to make people not want to put their entire lives on the internet. Because I think that we're in that sine curve kind of thing where it's like, oh, social media is new. Or it's not even new right now, but it's fun, and it's intriguing, and it's hooray. And then at a certain point, I think it's going to hit some apex where people are like, I don't need to put any of that
Right.
crap on the internet. Like, there's the opposite.
And they're like, you remember when we used to do this?
Yeah,
10
we
years
used to
ago?
put all that stupid crap on the internet and live forever.
I want to be that optimistic. I
Yeah.
want to be that optimistic. I don't know if I am, though. As long as that behavior is rewarded, it's going to continue.
Well, I think like recently those fledgling YouTubers, the one kid died because he wanted clicks, so he had his girlfriend shoot him in the chest with a stinking Desert Eagle from a foot away. And even though I inflected that in my voice, I'm not advocating for someone to do it with a smaller gun at a larger distance, but I think his odds would have been a little bit better. But I think with these kind of things, like I said, it's going to be a while before our kids can do that. But I think it's going to be a flip. That's what I foresee.
I hope. Like I'm with Sean. I truly, truly hope that it goes away. I don't know if it's going to. I mean, I had a conversation with a young person who will remain nameless, but I asked him, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, a YouTuber. Okay, what are you going to YouTube? Well, I'm going to vlog and talk about video games. Is that it? Yeah.
Subscribe.
What if that doesn't happen? Then I won't have a job. And granted, they're like really young, so they don't quite get it yet. But that entire thought process is a little or a lot dangerous, to let someone think that, it's. And granted, I'm an adult, and this it's a child, so I'm absolutely thinking about it differently, and I have, experience in the job market, and with you guys, so you can say the what ifs as an adult, but as a kid, it's just look at all these people that are so successful and it's so easy, and I'm going to go do that too.
Is it any different than a kid aspiring to be like a sports player or like an actor or
a
something
rock star?
Like that? I mean, it's sort of.
I would argue that there's very little that is actually attractive about the rock star lifestyle. Kids still want to grow up to be rock stars.
Yeah. It's the current version of that, though.
Yeah.
What was the previous version? Like dying in airplane crashes?
Oh, that was just Buddy Holly.
And a couple others.
No, I mean, but with that example too, people still want to be rock stars. People still want to be athletes. That hasn't gone away, even if the reality of it is more known now.
And that's not to say I'm crapping on anybody's dream. If that's your dream and you're going to fight for it, by all means, fight for it. Do everything you can to be what you want to be.
Fine, I'll crap on it.
I'm just saying, have a plan B. Like, find something maybe mundane that you're just really good at, or just always plan for failure.
Like, at least if it's not YouTube, Vimeo. Or Facebook Live.
I'd be an Instagram model.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, I just heard a story about that today.
I've had students in my class last year they actually wanted their job basically to be on Instagram as there's a stupid term called a hype beast. That's with fashion. I had to look it up, but it's
Wait! I want to guess. Is it someone who finds fashions and then promotes them?
It's related to that, yeah. But I mean, it's like the really high end stuff, and people are getting sponsored. I think the whole thing's kind of ridiculous. But
here's a $5 Hanes T-shirt that I put a whole bunch of holes in. Now it's $5,000.
Well, I gave them a hard time because there was one brand that they were talking about nonstop, and this is the same brand that decided to put their name on a brick and sell the brick for $50, and they sold out in New York in a matter of half an hour. And that's the kind of
it's things
ideologies
like
being promoted.
It's things like that make me think our species is not worth saving.
Well, hold on now.
That's not entirely
a brick.
No. But okay,
Pet rock.
yes, the brick, right?
Mark.
And even the rock with like the leather sleeve, there's just a rock. Like that's dumb. But if you were to talk to our parents, right? And you go, in the future, there's going to be this thing that I could make a living, support my entire family by making daily little weird videos on the internet. And they were like, no, you got to have a fallback, and you got to have this. And you're like, you can't make a living on YouTube doing it like people do. And these fashion, whatever, like, if that's a thing that we just might not know or understand or think is legit, like, not everyone can be a fireman. Not everybody wants to be those things that we think are, like, the models of success. And honestly, like, how much buy-in does it have to take? So I have a friend of mine that's a lawyer, or not. I have friends that are lawyers and friends that are doctors, and that dude is like deeply in debt, like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Or these kids can want to be YouTubers, and all they're indebted is the price of a camera and internet connection, and one is obviously more, I'll say, valuable to a society than the other. But if one can exist, if that medium like allows it, or society allows it, then that's not that person's fault. They're filling a perceived need, and if they get clicks that don't involve getting shot in the chest with a Desert Eagle, or like doing coke or doing jackass stuff, then
beat your kids.
Yeah, really,
Screaming
screaming and beating your kids, like we talked about. Like, I don't know. Like, I think we are drastically going to have to reevaluate our definitions of success in this world.
Well, I think, like I said before, like there's nothing wrong with aiming for something that might not be like mainstream, or like Mike Rowe. Like, oh, there's nothing wrong with blue collar jobs. There's nothing wrong with aiming for something that's not a blue collar job, but the intelligent thing is to have a fallback. Like, okay, I want to be a YouTube guy. I want to make all my money and support my family on YouTube. But if that doesn't happen, I can go, like, I know this software or that software, or I'm really good at photography and taking pictures, or I'm really good at this, that, or the next thing. You know, it's instilling that you need to have a backup. Nothing is guaranteed. And if your plans go completely to hell, you need a fallback. You need a net.
I think a lot of the people that this person might be idolizing on YouTube, well, it's kind of hard because it's so
there's
vast.
So many.
But
yeah.
like Mike Rowe, for instance. Like, Mike Rowe is used as an example for, like, the common worker and the blue-collar jobs and the salt of the earth, right? Mike Rowe talks for a living. And he writes internet posts.
To be fair, though, he does all the horrible things. You know,
he advocates for those things, and yeah, he did it on the show. But like,
he's also a college graduate.
Yeah,
and had many jobs before that, like educated. As a voice actor, as an opera singer, and things that
aren't really associated with blue collar. Yeah,
that made him what he is, and then the ability to get that job doing dirty jobs, like to highlight those things, was a job. He could talk about crab boats, right? He has an awesome voice. He could talk about crab boats. He could talk about, like, feminine napkins or whatever if he wanted to. He's a voice. And he advocates for those things because he's seen them played out in real life. But Mike Rowe has a podcast now where he tells stories for 5 minutes at a time.
I love that podcast.
It's great.
It's great.
But at the same time, if he's in college or if he's at one of these blue-collar jobs, right, talking to a guy who's shoveling, elephant crap into some type of, like, fertilizing drum, and they're like, man, Mike, this life's hard. He's like, I know, man. I got to get up every day. I got to talk about a story for, like, at least 6 minutes at a time. And then I got to go home, and I got to make a Facebook post where people are going to get angry at me.
Well, see, the other thing is, like, he's not oblivious to the fact of he has it good. But he's also one of those people that hasn't always had it good. He worked to get to where he is. And that's why he advocates for it. So it's like the people who never knew anything else but the easy way is the ones that get me.
So here's an additional question so we kind of stay on track for the topic. We went directly to the social media thing. What other challenges do you maybe anticipate our kids having to kind of like encounter or deal with? Like, for instance, automation. and the way the job market is going to change.
Yeah, the job market's completely shifting. Like we're in, I don't know if we're in the beginning or the middle stages of it, but it's
totally beginning.
They've been saying that for 20 years though.
Well, I mean, think about it though. Like in the supermarkets, they have the self-checkout lanes, and there's a lot of places that are trying to make that solely self-checkout lanes. There's the fast food places that you walk up and do the computer stuff, and there's only people in the back cooking. There's nobody up front anymore. You know, there's definitely a trend to automate everything that's physically possible. I mean, I've had the conversation in my job where, you know, they're trying. There's more self-install kits going out. There's more you call people, or there's automated programs to help you troubleshoot. And I mean, granted, the only thing that gives me job security is the phrase, "Oh, I'm just not tech savvy." That is why I will always have a job, because those people will never go away. So I'm not too worried about my job going away because of automation and reduction, but I mean, you get the guys, the people, the gas station attendants, that can be automated.
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't think those jobs vanish. I think they change because some company now exists to make automation robots. So there's a factory now that exists to build, to maintain, to engineer, to keep up with the program, all those things. So arguably,
it's an ebb and flow.
for that one robotic system, that created more jobs on the back end for that one system to be in place in that one supermarket than just the couple baggers or whatever. So
maybe so, but it's not an equal bait and switch though, because a lot of those jobs and a lot of the first ones that are getting replaced are the ones that were originally meant for teenagers to have their first.
It's unskilled labor.
It's unskilled labor, yes. And what you're talking about is the new jobs that are being created are more technical. At least not all of them, but a lot of them are.
Yeah.
So it's not an equal exchange. It's it's basically, okay, here's more jobs here, and we're cutting out all these.
But could you also argue that kids nowadays, or the generation now, takes to computers easier than ours? So what would have been complicated for us at that time, it's more natural for them to pick up.
Yes and no.
No.
I think a lot of resumes. I mean, I've been researching jobs before I decided to leave mine, and actually had to post some jobs before, and it's stuff like, I think in the conversation you're talking about with like Microsoft Word and the ability to type and use a computer on just a general like that, everyone should.
Yeah, we're past that.
Right. Well, you'd think. Like, new hires are past that. People that exist in the workforce aren't past that yet, because as a new hire, they're like, oh, you know how to use Word? And so there's that, yes, should be a blanket. But now, those technical jobs you're talking about, there are so many specific programs that people are meant to be proficient in that they're not. Because every company uses another system. And it's not easy to get access to something that is not social media wide right now, unless you go to a school or you go to some type of training to get that more specific education.
Modern technology has actually destroyed tech skills, because like most of my students actually do not know how to use Microsoft Word well. They know how to hit a touch screen. That's not tech savvy, especially in the job plate. A lot of the needs in the job market.
See, I am hoping that we are moving towards a place where, like, the entry level needs a more intelligent person. That will inspire. Like when we were all looking for jobs, it was okay. You got to have these basic skills. And if you continue to increase those basic skills, hopefully in the long run, it creates a more intelligent workforce.
That's sort of what I'm trying to get at with that.
I mean, granted, yeah, but there's always going to be an ebb and flow. You're going to see, like in I think it's Japan or China. I'm fairly certain it's Japan. Their workforce is in danger right now because not a lot of people had kids. Their immigration is fairly non-existent, so there's not a whole lot of young people from other countries coming in. and a lot of the people are professionals, so they stopped having kids. So you have an aging workforce that's going to completely retire, and there's not a lot of people to fill those jobs.
I saw a report that Germany was the same way in the upcoming years.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's not that dissimilar anywhere.
So, and
in any first world country, it's not. Even the projection for the United States is to have a declining population over the next 30 years.
So for our kids in the future, we have to get them to have...
Be smarter. They got to be smarter.
I think you got to...
It's more than smarter. Smarter is a strange term.
You have to be adaptable.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
In any situation, I mean, and I'll use my situation right now. Like for me, it is really, really hard if I wanted to change careers because of multiple things. But I have a certain skill set and I'm really good at it. But if I were to move to any other place, I'm taking a huge pay cut. And that's horrifically difficult because in order to get paid what I'm being paid right now, I'd have to know a lot more in another area, and I don't.
Well, I think that's also pretty common for the workforce. Like, I was a professional development coordinator, and trying to get people to think outside of their immediate responsibilities and their immediate surroundings to try to make themselves better in different avenues. Like, people are they're not very resistant to it. It's a lot of younger people that are more open to that idea than the existing workforce, because it's if they see that job security, they go, why? Like, that's not my responsibility. But the younger group, the ones that are usually looked down on as these damn millennials that are all entitled, like, they're the ones that want to learn and they want to gain this knowledge in a vast variety of like skill sets, because they just want to learn, or they want to do something different and more interesting, or to make themselves more marketable in a bunch of different areas. And it was frustrating to me because I would try to, like, I had to put on these events, and I would try to put on an event that I think would gear toward like the hourly, like, union workforce and try to make them better, and no one cared and no one showed up. I was like, well, okay. So at a certain point, like, you can rest on your laurels and be comfortable until you retire, or people can try to look outside of their little bubble. And it's hard because people have jobs every day, so it's not easy to do, but it's keeping up on current trends or looking at, job markets that have similar skill sets that are doing something a little bit different or doing something a little bit more new. But as the younger people, I don't know, if I had to talk to Deacon right now, like if he was of the age where he was going to go to college or get a job or whatever, I think it's about managing expectations, because like you talk about on YouTube, or people see online, all you see are the glamour shots of things. You see the fanciest and the newest and the best. And like, Wes, you talked about in the Navy, like, what is a day in the life of the Navy? What is a day in the life of whatever? How do you start? Because people think they're going to walk into a job making $70,000 a year and getting these new fancy, like, communal workspaces with free cookies in the lobby, or like this Google type atmosphere. But I think it's really about managing expectations. That kid you're talking about with YouTube star, like, that's what he sees. He sees people on YouTube. He sees that they're pseudo professional or pseudo successful in whatever it is that they're doing, and he wants to emulate that. Now, that could be possible, but he probably doesn't see all of the stuff behind the scenes, because they don't publicize that stuff purposely, because it's not that glamorous. And so, job shadowing. I remember I got into job shadowing when I was younger. I knew a lot of people who did a lot of jobs. The school that I was in, I had like an internship period which I thought was amazing. I went to my teacher and she was like, tell me something that you're interested in. And they went out into the community and they found somebody who did it or had the closest type of job categories that were, similar to it. And they put you in that environment. So you could see every day and you could talk to those people who did the thing you were hoping to do. How do I get that skill? What school do I go to? What things do I need to brush up on? So it's not just like I show up to NASA. I got my own helmet. I'm ready to go to space now. Like, Or you click publish on YouTube and like, oh, here's your sponsorship money and your new fancy clothes on Instagram. Like, there's stuff that has to happen behind the scenes. And that's what I would tell him, to get in on the ground floor with something that you're interested in. Not even that you think you're going to make a bunch of money at, or something that you think is going to be a smart move for the future. Like, what are you interested in? And then latch on to those people and learn. Shut up and learn.
If you had to pick something for your kids right now to study in college, if college was the route they were going to go, what would you pick for them that you think would be the best preparation for whatever would come next?
Engineering.
What type?
What?
There's like 5 different types of engineering.
Yeah. Like. See, I would leave the specifics up to her, but you are always going to have to build something.
Engineering is a good
whether it's a building, whether it's electrical engineering, whether it's software, computer systems. There will never not be a need to have something built. So if you know how to design things, if you know how to structurally make something sound, there will always be a need for you.
And just that term engineer, like coming from Lockheed Martin, like the biggest employer of engineers in the country, like it's a fraternity. So there could be myself, and because I have an aeronautics degree, I don't have an aeronautical engineering degree because I left that school. But there could be a line of worthy applicants applying for an engineering job, and then a fresh out of school, has never had previous employment. That person already has a leg up over all of those professionals who don't have the engineering degree. So that is a safe bet, just because it's a potential to open those avenues. Like you're saying, like you're talking about a fallback or whatever. Like you get a lot of really good skills for a lot of really good things, but it puts you in a category just for having it that a lot of people can't get into.
Yeah.
I'd probably pick the same thing for my son, something with engineering, and actually my daughter as well. But more practically, because I've been teaching for over 10 years now, what I tell all my students is, you know what, major whatever you're going to major in, because that's going to be your interest, it's what you want to pursue, but minor in business. And I tell that to every one of my students, because, and what's not really fully understood is business isn't just about building, running a business. It's also about communication, how to communicate with people, how to be a professional. All those are the skills that a lot of students don't have coming straight out of high school, that doesn't automatically get developed just because you're an adult. And having those strong skills to power whatever it is that you're pursuing ends up being really helpful in the long run, especially if you want to own your own business one day, with whatever that business is. And even like things like entrepreneurship. So that's what I tell all my students.
Anyway.
I mean, engineering's an easy one to choose because it covers such a wide range of things to make. I mean, on the flip side, because I have art background, I don't know if they'd particularly be interested in that, but if Samantha wanted to pursue something with art, I mean, there's always going to be a need for that, whether the jobs are easier to come by or not, starving artists and whatnot. But, I mean, there's some design stuff mixed in with art as well that goes hand in hand with engineer, skills. Like, there's the artistic side and there's the technical side. So I think making anything, you have to have both of those working together in some fashion, whether it's two different professions or groups of people. You have to have the architect, and you also have to have the structural engineer to say if whatever they're designing out of their head is possible. So one has the idea, the other one makes it a reality. So I don't know if you can really have one without the other.
I have another one. Computer animation.
Boom.
With the way movies are going lately, with all the the move towards we want the actor that died 100 years ago to star in this movie. I think you're going to see that a lot in the future, and it's not as the safe answer as an engineer, but I do see that in the future becoming a very underemployed career.
That's gotten kind of a bad rap in the last 5 years, though. Computer animators are almost like slave labor now because of the wages that aren't being paid.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine they're making less than I am.
In their environment.
You might be surprised. Yeah, it's gotten bad.
It's very unstable for
really?
jobs too.
It's gotten really bad. There's a lot of lawsuits right now that the workers are not getting paid, and like farms of people doing animation that just, they're trying not to publicize it that much. It seems like.
All right, never mind.
Like food science, that could be a big one.
Stunt double. Yeah, food science. I think. Yeah, you're right. That in the
agriculture.
Everyone's gonna need to know how to eat, or cook, or not necessarily cook, but where their source of food is coming from. That might be
food production.
More important.
That should be a mandatory class in high school. Like,
cooking.
Yeah, no, not cooking. No. Farming. You have to successfully grow some beans, or just something along the lines, so you kind of know how things work when it comes to gardening.
Well, I'm trying to think of an answer to this question, and I'm trying to think of like the personalities of my kids. Like what would really work for them? And yeah, like I went to engineering school, and not only is it like the building things aspect, but it's quality assurance, like technical design, a lot of things that engineers do besides physically like come up with the idea to build something. I know that a lot of them end up being a lot of cubicle jobs, and not so much the super fun ones where you're playing with Legos and things all day. But I'm going to be the advocate for I don't know if college would be right for some of them. Because a lot of things that we're talking about, like, those are a lot of blue-collar jobs that you don't necessarily have to go to college. I would really leave it up to them. I would stress the need to go. I mean, I have a master's degree. It'd be kind of hypocritical of me to say that you don't need to go to college, because, I mean, you really do. But I don't know. What I would hope for them...
It's a hypothetical.
No doubt. And it's really hard. Like, I mean, even when I went to school, like, I wanted to help people. And I think it's... I would try to get it whatever I think their skills really are rooted in. Maybe an English major. I think Deacon would be an English major. That kid could write stories. He loves writing stories. If you want to be an author. But again, you need some, like, life experiences. You need something behind, like... I want to write the next book, but it's like, okay, well, what is going to drive you to do that? There's stuff behind the scenes, or industrial design. I really think industrial design would be pretty awesome for them, because it's a little bit of the engineering, a little bit of the art, like you're talking about, like making something tangible for people.
Is it wrong to say that college is just the start? Because a lot of people look at college and go, okay, well, this is going to be everything I need to get where I want to go.
That's the misconception that has to be stopped right there.
I think it's more college is giving you the basis to survive your trials by fire.
No,
the beginning, because you're
a box. That's
you're going to learn, like, the only way you're going to get successful is the trials by fire. You're going to fail some of them, but you're going to succeed. The more knowledge you have at the beginning, the better chance you have to survive those trials. And you're going to continually learn through those trials, and they are going to give you immensely more information than you would have ever learned through college. but it will also give you the basis to start. Like, college is just the start. It's not the end.
If Deacon got accepted, or any one of my kids, if it's their first day and they've got their box, they're going into their dorm, honest to God, my advice to them, and with whatever they choose, is you are going to be graded by a person. You need to figure out that person's kind of their personality, feed it to them, get your grade, and you're going to move on. You will get to do things that you want to do sprinkled here and there, but if you're really passionate about it and the person who's grading you is not, you're not going to win. Don't think you're going to stand on the soapbox and go like, I want to argue my point on the highest mountain. You're not going to win. Give the person what they want. You're going to get your diploma. You're in the club now. Go on and do good things from there. Like, I don't know. You can pursue things, but you're not going to pursue things in that classroom. You're going to pursue things in a social club outside of that, or in a group of like-minded people who want to get together and band together and do good things in the name of. But if you're in, like, creative writing 101, or if you're in English 101, right? Sean, I'm going to correct me if I'm wrong now. You have to write paper X, you have to write paper Y, and paper Z. Like, here's an argumentative paper, here's a persuasive paper, here's a narrative. You're like, well, I want to write about this. It's like, well, maybe, but if that teacher doesn't like that, you're going to get a grade. And you passing that class, or the success you have further on down your college career, is based on that person giving you a grade.
College tempers a lot of things that people don't expect. One is working within guidelines, working under instruction. But Josh, what you said before is actually dead on, and it actually doesn't get said enough, is that most of your learning that actually takes place in college isn't in the classroom, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be with those groups that you form, being a part of a club, and racking your own brain to actually make your way through these things. And that's where most of the learning actually happens. It's not in front of the professor. There's simply a guide that you're working within, their guidelines, just like a job in some ways, whatever restrictions you have. It's most of the learning happens on your own, but giving you a focus to do this, that learning.
And that's what you're going to get on your resume when you leave school. I was up for an internship with Mitsubishi, and I had to come up with a resume. And I was a junior. I had nothing on my resume to differentiate me from anybody else. I took all the same classes. I got the same above average grades that everybody else got. Those people that were in, SEA clubs that built like Baja racers, or people that were in these model rocket clubs that had sent payloads into space. Things that stepped out of that comfort zone, or stepped out of that normal, like, I have class Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9:45. Like, they go out and they actually solve a problem, or they come up to a with a solution to a real world issue that you're not going to do in the classroom. Like, my engineering classes were like, our big project for this one was you need to launch a marshmallow that lands on a plate 50 feet away. And then you had to do a bunch of math, and you had to show your calculations, and you had to build a thing, which was fun. But if you go out into the world, they're like, who needs something 50 feet away from them consistently? You? No one. Oh, you guys are worried about roads and affordable energy and world hunger. Like, we didn't talk about that. We launched marshmallows. So, yes, college, like I said, college is a prerequisite for a lot of things. So get it. It's the same argument that you're advocating someone finishing high school. Like, if we all together, like, we banded together and we all owned this company, and we did really, really great at that company, and we wanted to pass it on to our kids. Like, and they needed everything they needed to know you could learn in this company. Like, would you really need, other than the societal stigma of you not graduating high school, like, do you really need to know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? Like, nope. So, it's options, like you're talking about. And that's what I would tell my kids first and foremost. Are you thinking about going to college? What do you think college is? And why do you want to go? What do you think it's going to get you? And then I try to set their expectations right. And then if they still want to go, which is great, and they still have some kind of a loose structured idea, then absolutely. But walking in thinking they're going to walk out of college with something that may not be true, or a level of knowledge that may not be there, or an automatic opportunity that probably isn't going to be there, like they're doomed from the start.
We're gonna have to do a part 2 of this to sometime. Sometimes we didn't even get to like the second question that we were planning on talking about it. So, but yeah,
I think the biggest thing is what makes you happy right now. Because if you're happy, like if you're in an ounce of happy right now, then grow that ounce. Don't go to college hoping to find whatever it is, because then you're already at a deficit from that person who started with an ounce. Like, build on what you already like, and then you're going to be happier, way happier than sitting in a cubicle making more money than the person who's happy doing what they're doing. It took me a long time to figure that out.
All right, well, we'd love to hear from all of you. Please visit makinggeeks.com. Check out the contact page, send us questions, requests for the show, anything you want. Just send it right there on the page, and we will take a look at it. And you might just find your question or hear a suggestion on the show. And be sure to check out the homepage. You can listen to all the past episodes right there on makinggeeks.com.
And before I do my little spiel, I just wanted to send a shout out to Mr. AJ Huff, Design Me Everything. I received his package for the prototype of the injection molder. Thank you very much, sir. I am hopefully getting to that soon. I haven't done anything lately. I just wanted to acknowledge I have it. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Thank you so much. And you can find all our stuff on our Instagram page at makinggeekspodcast.com. Or wait, yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I'm tired. On Instagram, Making Geeks Podcast. On Twitter, at Making Geeks, and at Facebook, at Making Geeks.
What point are we going to talk about the rings? I don't think that should be dead last. Just FYI. I know it's kind of late to say that now, but...
Well, let's do this, and then we'll do what are we geeking out about, and then...
Yeah, because, I mean...
If I have to, I could cut the segment and put it before.
Yeah, okay.
Editing.
We'd also like to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/makinggeeks. Your continued support helps us keep the show on the air. So we want to thank you, and especially our top patron, who is the same as last week, Mr. Seth Williams. Thank you so much, sir.
Good job, Seth.
Seth is single-handedly keeping our lights on.
And you can find our own individual bodies of work at geeksmithing.com or in this room.
Yep.
I found all kinds of geeksmithing stuff just laying around his house. So if you're here near Wes's house, you just look around.
Yep.
There's buttons. At geekbuilders.net, at Asylum Designs on Instagram, Thingiverse, and Twitter. And you can find my exploits at thepiworkshop.com. And like every week, we'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us. There's a new episode posted every Saturday. So go on over to iTunes or SoundCloud or any other podcasting venue. Subscribe to it, and it'll be sent right to you. So everybody have a wonderful week.
Good night.
Night.
Take care, folks. Go make something.
All right. So we can do the commercial thing.
Rewind.